So it's been a couple days since we came back from the trip. This being an SE model, there's a couple things that I'm going to swap over that are on the higher trims. And I'm going to start with this bad boy. Now, having space to put shit is cool, but having space to keep drinks cool is cooler. So first step in this madness, get the cup holders out, and getting this guy out using a trim tool, you pry up on it to lift it up, and that gets that out of the way. So you got to shift it in neutral with the car key on, engine off. Then you're able to pry this in an upwards motion. Then you're going to disconnect the little connections for all your hill descent and air suspension and low range controls. Alright, so getting this trim out, what I did was I stuck my hand behind here, pushed up on this to pop the centerpiece out. That way I could leave that in there. I could get this guy out. Next up is going to be a T20 over there. I popped out the front little cover, threw that on the floor. There's also a cover for there. Make sure to clean up behind there because that's fucking gross. Alright, for this whole center part, I literally just pulled up, and then you've got the little connection for the handbrake. So you get that out of the way, and definitely a good time to vacuum 20 years worth of shit back here. So next thing I'm going to point out is the connector for the cooled box, or the cooler box. So that gets plugged in there, and Land Rover taped it up, put some Velcro on it from the factory, so the poor people don't get this option, but not today. Next step is going to be two T20s, one there, to get that out. And then you're going to be focused on this. 2 bolts here, one here, identical on the other side, and this little trim thing to get this upper console lid off, and then you'll be able to pull that guy out. T27 piece there. Get rid of that bolt, and then this cover pops out. And then you're going to be left with something that looks like that. So just wiggle it, boom, just like that. And then you're able to lift this up, which is kind of hard for me to do while filming. But let's see if I could get this. Boom. Just like that. And then next up is going to be lifting on this whole thing straight up. It does take some force because it is held in by 2 clips. And then you're able to slide your new guy in there. So the cooler slides in. Make sure that the wiring harness is kind of laying over here when you slide it in. That way you can make that connection. Boom. Then the car's got to be on because the battery needs to have over 14 volts for this thing to work. So turn it on. Make sure that the switch turns blue. The fan should be blowing at this point, and then you just reassemble everything. Alright, so to get this thing back together, 1 bolt, 2 bolt, beauty covers, that handles that. This whole centerpiece snaps back in. You got 1 bolt behind there, clip back there. Make sure that's snapped in. Make sure to plug in your parking brake switch. And then you have your center console with the terrain response, 1 connection, and this snaps on top of that. And then your little cover doohickeys that hide all the plastic with some nice rubber. And your cool box is cool, and your Land Rover is a lot cooler than what it was before.